Hey, hi, welcome to the series of Quality Basics. So, I'm Tota Krishna Hema, your quality expert. So, let us discuss about Plan to Check Act or PDCA Lifecycle or Deming's Lifecycle. Let us get into the details in the upcoming slides. So, what is the plan? So, this PDCA cycle is applicable to your project, to your process, to anything in the world. So this is a basic of the quality. So what does the plan have? So any planning activity, we need to get a commitment from the management. So all the budgeting, all the means like resource allocations and your hardware, whatever is like you need to get it allocated through management. So that means you have to get the commitment from the management. The second thing is objectives to be fulfilled. So we need to discuss what are the objectives. So what is the ultimate goal of this particular product or project, the processes required to fulfill the activity. So for example, most of our audience are from software. So whenever you have come up with one project, so that project may be on it sometimes it covers the entire life cycle. So it covers the requirement phase, it covers the design phase, it covers coding phase, it covers review phase or the verification phase as well. So in some of the cases, like you will have a particular life cycle phase. So in that case, you will apply the tailoring accordingly. The same thing, like what are the processes which are required for this particular activity to fulfill. For example, your measurement process is applicable, your coding process is applicable, your requirements is not applicable, something like that. You need to tailor the process accordingly. And the expected output to be documented in plan. So this thing, like you need to write down like what is the outcome of what is the ultimate outcome of this particular plan activity. Define responsibilities for attaining objectives. So here is the thing, like who is responsible or which particular role is responsible for this activity, kind of like we need to define the roles and responsibilities whatever is applicable to fulfill this plan. And we need to talk about the timelines or the roadmap or whatever we say, like by this time, like you have to fulfill the milestone one or the release one, or by this is the tenure for the entire project. So by then you need to deliver every activity to the client, or you need to go for a mass production in this particular timeline, these kind of things. And communication to stakeholders on plan. When I wrote this stakeholder, means like in general, stakeholder is your customer, your team member, or whomever is involved into your salesperson, whomever is involved into the topic. So all the people need to get it communicated. This is a timeline which we are thinking, like we can deliver this product by this, we can deliver this product, or but these are the strategies we are coming up to fulfill this particular activity, kind of. The next thing is do. Do is nothing but implementation of your plan. You have completed planning activity in the before, and do is implementation of that particular plan. So we need to execute all the processes which we have picked up. We have selected or we have tailored. We have come up with tailoring things, right? So those all picked up processes, we need to ensure that it is fulfilled here. And before we have discussed about roles and responsibilities which we require to attain those objectives. But here you will get a person and you will allocate that person. You are the project manager for this thing, or you are the testing lead for this thing, you are the developer for this thing, these kind of. And what are the roles and responsibilities? So what are the, you have defined a role like PM, lead, developer, tester, these are the roles. What about the responsibilities? As a developer, you need to write a code according to the coding guidelines whatever we have given. Okay. Mm, as a developer, you need to write unit test cases. Okay. As a developer, you need to execute uh, unit test cases whatever you have developed based on the detailed design. As a developer, so these are nothing but set of responsibilities to that role. Okay. And these all will be defined as a part of your plan. Now the persons to be allocated in this particular phase. Okay. Coordinate and document activities. So now you started implementation, so you need to write down the activities and you need to document the activities. Now monitor the activities and record the progress against the plan. For example, today one task is assigned to you. Okay, you are supposed to complete the task by today itself. Then the end of the day, you have to write down that the assigned task is fulfilled or it is in progress, how much percentage of task is completed and how much more time is required. So this kind of idea you will have, and this kind of monitoring activities you have to do in the plan, in the do phase. Or else, like, I will give another example. So if the task is planned for 5 working days or 5 man days, I can say, so in these five mandates, in 3 days, like, you need to complete, say, 60% of the activity. So 60% of the activity is fulfilled or not, that we need to track, we need to monitor. And then collect data. We need to collect the data from all the all the assigned people, all the resources, and we need to keep it in one place and communicate the progress to the stakeholders. So the next phase is check, verify whether these existing processes is yielding enough results or not. Then we need to analyze the results of implementation phase or the do phase. Okay. Analyze the results of do phase means, like, we have captured a few things which is an outcome of the implementation or do activity. So those results we need to analyze further, like what is the how many days we have deviated. Like, for example, what is the schedule variance, what is the effort variance, what is the productivity, what is the utilization of your team. So these all things we need to verify here. Okay. And we need to gather feedback, so on the implementation of the process. So gather feedback means, how will you gather feedback is, like, whomever is implementing that particular your processes, you need to get the feedback from those people. Your resources will give the feedback. Currently this process whatever we are following is feasible, or we need improvements in this particular area. Something like, you need to get the feedback from the implementers. Okay. And compare results to see whether the plan's objectives and requirements have been met. So we need to, first of all, like, we have a plan and we need to check the implementation with respect to plan. So now you have to compare what was the plan, what is the thing actually we are doing. So these things we need to compare, and we need to obtain whether our particular process whatever we are implementing is yielding the good results or not. So this is the phase, and act is the next phase. The fourth phase of this PDCA cycle is act. So if the solution is less than satisfactory or it is not giving good results, then you need to go back to the plan phase and we need to adjust the process accordingly. If the solution is good enough and it is yielding good results, then we need to continue implementing it. But however, we need to try to improvise the process further in order to ensure the continuous improvement. For example, the solution whatever we have come up with is producing for example 10 units per day. Okay, then we need to improvise the solution in order to get 12 units per day in the next planning activity. So this is called continual improvement. Today we are here, but tomorrow we need to get an improvement, or we need to do the improvement action in the upcoming things. Determine changes needed in order to ensure plans objectives can be met. So adjust process accordingly. So your act, if it is not satisfactory, you need to definitely go to the plan phase, and we need to improvise the process. So if the solution is good enough also, like, it is optional to go back and adjust that. But this is the PDCA life cycle which I just want to explain to you. Thank you so much for your time.